that very moment, I'd already thought in my mind that I'm not gonna leave any witnesses. I'm gonna go do a robbery, I'm taking this car. So I reached in my pocket, I had a 25 caliber automatic pistol.
He pulled a gun, stuck it to my left cheek, pulled the trigger. My body automatically hit the ground. As he walked away, I said, "Please help me." And he left me there to die.
I knew going into that parking lot, I was a high school dropout going nowhere but the grave or prison. Just set out intentionally trying to be evil.
The bullet, when it entered, went through my left cheek, down through my esophagus, severed the tip of my carotid artery, and then bounced up and broke the top 2 vertebrae in my neck. I knew something was really wrong with me. I didn't know what, until they brought my family in to a little room, and they were all saying goodbye. They were holding me, grabbing my legs, and they were saying goodbye.
My 21st birthday, I'd been in prison about 3 years. I came face to face with a God that wanted truth and repentance. He wanted change, true change, not my lies. So my lies and truth went, and truth won. And at that moment, at that time, 331J cell house in Pendleton, Indiana, I said, man, I need to make a change. Now I have to face the fact that it was my hand, it was my gun, it was my bullet. I pulled the trigger. I'd never uttered them words. I never uttered the words, I did it. Mother's Day of 1996, I penned a Mother's Day card. I said, Mom, I'm guilty. And from then on, the prison was my school. I enrolled in GED, got my GED, studied scriptures, got an associate degree, working towards my bachelor. Here I am, 27 years old, and I'm getting released from prison.
I've had 2 children, recently divorced. Couldn't figure out why all the bad things kept happening to me. Struggling. I called my ex-husband and I told him to come and get the kids. And I got that far to where I wanted to take my own life. With all the anger and the hate and the bitterness, I think I was in prison a lot longer than he ever was. And I knew at that point in my life that I needed to make the change. I needed to let go of, I didn't know how to do it. When I located him and I seen the pictures of him and his wife and his 4 kids, I did a lot of thinking, a lot of processing. And I thought, I'm gonna send him a message.
My whole body trembled. You know, what now? I've never talked to her, and I lied at trial, but here's a Facebook message from a Misty Wright Wallace, the woman I shot.
What I said to him is that, I know you know who I am. I'm not angry anymore. I'm not mad. I'm not bitter. I have forgiven you. But I do have some questions that would help me in the process of this forgiveness.
I sent her my phone number. I got a phone call and probably wore a spot in my floor walking back and forth for about 45 minutes. We talked. She gave me a front row seat to what my bullet had done. And her voice, she wasn't filled with hate. It was more of, this is what you've done to me and you need to know what I feel like.
Crazy as this sounds, Keith heard for the first time when I forgave him what he did to me. And after that day, I knew that I was going to forgive him and go on with my life.
Because we started sharing and learning and walking in this thing called forgiveness, we actually became friends, which blows my mind away every time I think about it. I was working in prisons, I was volunteering in prisons, and she chose to now come in and share this story inside of prisons. So he started Bridges to Life as a restorative justice program to restore peace, not only to victims that have lost loved ones and have been victimized of crimes, but also to the offenders and the men and women across the United States that had caused crime, by letting them understand what their crime and their actions had done to other human beings. Many of the men and women we encounter in prison, they'll never hurt another person because they can see what my crime did to a human being, to Misty. And then the possibility opens up in their mind, what if I get a Facebook message from my victim one day? Will I be ready? I was in a position I was ready. And my job now is to make sure others are ready.
You can forgive someone. It doesn't mean that you have to forget what happens to you. I will never forget what happened to me. You don't have to let that go. You can let the pain, the hate, the bitterness, and the anger, let that go. I don't have to carry that around anymore. And it feels good. It feels good to be free.